Welcome everyone to Nintendo Game Talk. My name is Coloco and today's topic will be, should we be discussing sales? Video game sales. Not just consoles, but also software sales. Should this be something that we should be discussing and talking about? Because I've seen lately that some people are calling themselves real gamers because they don't focus on video game sales. They don't focus about the sales. Just so happens that these same people are people that play on Xbox, you know, and just so happens that Xbox, this console generation, is a little behind. It's not keeping up with the momentum of either the PS4 or now the Nintendo Switch. So it's funny that these same people are now saying that sales aren't that important. It's all about the games. But these same people are also the ones that said, don't worry about Sea of Thieves review scores. Don't worry about State of Decay 2 review scores. So not only are review scores irrelevant, now sales are irrelevant as well. And I don't mean to pile on to the Xbox fandom. And look, I was an Xbox guy for the longest time. You know, right after the GameCube, I got an Xbox 360 and I just rolled with that for years and years and years until just recently, instead of jumping to a PS4 or Xbox One, I've just had my Switch, my PC, and that's it. And that's all I've played on since. So I'm not, you know, sitting here trying to diss a whole fandom, but I gotta call out what I see, and I think that's kind of ridiculous to say that, you know, you shouldn't be talking about sales. They don't really mean anything. And to a certain extent, yeah, obviously, does it actually affect our lives if a console sells 20 million units in its year? Does it affect your wallet, in other words? No, you don't work for that unless you work for that corporation, unless you have, you know, unless you invested in there and bought stocks in that company. Maybe it will affect you, monetarily speaking. But if you don't, obviously it's not going to affect your personal life. But does it affect us as our hobby, as, you know, playing video games? Yes, of course, 100% it affects us. To say that it doesn't, I don't know if you're trying to just like ignore the facts. But when a console is successful, you get more games on that console. When a video game series is successful, you get more games in that series. When a genre is successful, you get more games in that genre. It's just a fact. To say otherwise is ridiculous. I don't know what you're trying to defend here. Just because your console of choice is not performing the way that you want it to, or the way that other consoles are performing. And I would argue that if you are a real gamer, you do pay attention to sales, because that tells you what the rest of the community, what they want, what they want out of video games. Like, look, I'm not a big Fortnite player, but I see, you know, I appreciate that everybody likes the game, and I have played it a little bit, and I enjoy it. It's not my favorite thing, you know, it's not my favorite thing to play. But I understand the importance of Fortnite. I'm not going to sit here and just say because I don't personally like it that it's garbage, that it has nothing to do, you know, that it's not important to the video game industry or to the community. Of course it is. That's what everybody's playing. Well, it's the same thing. If you look at sales and everybody's not buying your console and your games that you are getting are being horribly reviewed, and that means that what you have is an inferior console experience, an inferior gameplay experience. And just take the L. Look, when the Wii U, when that era, the whole Wii U era, I understood as a Nintendo fan, and now I'm sorry, but I didn't see any Nintendo fans saying that the Wii U was the best experience out of the Xbox One and PS4. Nobody was saying that, man. Everybody knew that the Wii U was inferior. Inferior graphics. Yes, it had a very unique way of being able to enjoy video games. You can watch something on the TV and play on your tablet. Yes, that's great, and I enjoyed it immensely. I did. I enjoy my Wii U. I appreciate the system. But I know what it is. It's a failure of a system. In a lot of ways, it is a failure. Not only did it not get good AAA exclusives or good AAA games in general, like yes, it did. It had that Batman game, it had Call of Duty's, Assassin's Creed. Yes, it had those games, but they were old ports. Everybody had played those games already, and it didn't get any good quality AAA exclusive. In general, the Wii U was a failure. Everybody knows this. Nobody's trying to defend the Wii U, saying that it was a success. Nobody is saying that. So why are Xbox fans now saying that reviews don't matter, sales don't matter, because your system of choice is failing? No, that's not the way. Don't try to ruin the whole industry the way that it's always been, just because it's only temporary. Because the Xbox brand, it looks like they're on the rebound, right? It looks like they're turning things around. So it's just temporary. So just settle down with all the sales don't matter talk. Reviews don't matter talk. Sales 100% do matter. We got to keep looking at sales because that's what the general consumers want, right? So, like, put in the last great game on the Switch, Octopath Traveler. Great sales. That tells Square Enix, hey, we want more games like this. Everybody, from what I've seen, not everybody, but a lot of people are interested in Octopath Traveler. Even people that don't have a Switch. They're saying, oh, why isn't this game on our system? Why, because it's a good-looking game. It's an awesome, different, unique experience. So why say that sales don't matter? Now, on the other hand, going back to the Wii U, a game like Wonderful 101, sales were horrible. And yeah, you also have to look at that, because that kind of sucks in that sense, because you had a great game, very unique experience, and Wii U owners didn't buy it. They didn't buy it. For whatever reason, they didn't. And you also have to keep that, you have to keep that conversation, keep throwing that kind of stuff in the conversation. You have to keep looking at sales. So, and it's just a topic that it's not about how much greater my console is doing. And yes, you have people like that. You have people that are just out there just to throw that in their you have Sony fans. They're just throwing it out there just to throw, oh yeah, look, 82 million consoles sold. Ah, look at you guys suck. And even you have the Switch guys out there. Nintendo Switch guys saying, oh, look at that, look, Nintendo Switch is the best, look at all these, and yes, and I have said, and I have talked about, Switch sales, and yes, because it's cool to see that it's successful, but don't be that guy that just, using that number to bash other fandoms. That's stupid. Don't do that. But there's nothing wrong with saying it. Yeah, look, it's successful. It's awesome. That's great. That's great news. Just don't do it. Don't use it to bash. And in that sense, yes, I don't believe that real gamers, would just constantly use that to just mess with people or just to belittle others because their system is not selling well. But there's a clear distinction between doing that and stating the facts. Xbox brand is not doing great this generation. And it could turn around. Hey, Switch might, from now on, maybe Pokemon's a fail, maybe Smash sucks, and Switch might start selling horribly. That would be a fact. You wouldn't be able to say otherwise. But as it stands right now, Switch momentum is doing great. PS4's momentum is doing great. Xbox, not so great. And it's because of the decisions that Microsoft has made, to that brand, and its sales reflect that. You can't deny it, guys. So what do you guys think of this conversation? What do you think of my thoughts? I appreciate you guys for sticking around this long, for listening to what I have to say. And as always, if you could just leave a comment below, or hit the like button, or subscribe, I would really appreciate it. And until next time, later.